Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amal bin Abdul Ghani. My group is here to present about Istishab. First of all, what does it mean by Istishab? Istishab is in linguistic terms from etymologically comes from the word is tashhaba. In sifat istifal, which means seeking friendship, assuming friendship, and looking for a friend. Subah means comparing something and then bringing it closer. Thus, loghawi, it is understood that istihab is bringing an event with a certain law closer to another event, so that both are judged to have the legal status. The other definitions of istishab is basically a method of law discovery based on existing laws as long as there is no new proof or legal evidence that states otherwise. Istishab also presumes the continuation of negative. For example, A purchases a hunting dog from B with the proviso that it has been trained to hunt, but then A claims that the dog is untrained. A claims that will be acceptable under istishab unless there is evidence to the contrary. For istishab, maintain the natural state of things, which in the case of animals is absence of training. This definition shows that istishab is actually the determination of the law or an object in the present or future based on what has been established or happened before. As an example, that A is the owner of this house or car by going through the process of buying and selling or inheriting. Then, as long as we do not find argument or evidence that changes the ownership, we remain confident and established that A is the owner of the house or car until now or will come. In other words, istishab is continued ownership or law in the past to the present or future.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. I am Muhammad Fakrul Aiman. Okay, now I will present about the condition of istishab. Okay, as we know, istishab have four types. Okay, the first type of al-istishab is istishab al-adam al-asli, or we also call istishab al-ibahah al-ashliyah. Okay, in the context, the word of al-istishab is refer to something that is initially considered to be legal, while there is no argument it's and haram when it cause harm. Okay, this type is which mean that the fakta or rule which had no existed in the past is presumed to be non-existence. Okay, which means that a fact or rule of law which had no existed in the past is presumed to be non-existent until the contrary is proved. For example, we have two verses from the Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 29, and Surah Al-Jatiyah, the ayat from the verse 13. Okay, from the two verses, it can be understood that everything on the earth is for human, and it's required for them. So if this thing forbidden to them, surely Allah did not make for the it. Surely Allah do not make this on the earth for the human. The second type of al-istishab is al-istishab al-wujud al-asli, presumption of original presence. This variety of istishab takes for granted the presence or existence of that which is indicated by the law of reason. Okay, for example, when someone we call for the people, we call A and B. Okay, when A indebted to B, A is presumed such until it is proof that he has paid the debt or was acquitted of it, provided that B's loan to A is proven in the first place as a fact. This is sufficient to give rise to the presumption of its continuity and be need not prove the continuity of the loan is question every day of the month. Similarly, under the presumption of original present, the purchaser is presumed liable to pay the purchase price by virtue of the present of the contract of sale until it proved that he has paid it. Okay, for the other example is as long as they are not officially married, so the man and woman not have the responsibility as a husband and wife. Next type of al-istishab is al-istishab al-hukum. Hukum, which presume the continuity of the general rules and principle of the law. As we previously said, istishab is concerned with the both the established legal rules and principle as well as the assumption of fact. Istishab assume that the Sharia prohibition and permissibilities provision will always be valid, halal or haram. Okay, this it mean the presume the continuity of law until the contrary evidence exists. Okay, when there is a ruling in the law, whether prohibitory or permissive, it will presume to continue until the contrary is proved. Okay. For example, the obligatory to pay in zakat will be presumed to be continue until the same person become bankrupt. The last type of al-istishab is istishab al-wash. Okay, istishab, this istishab mean that the law that was established through consequence on a point of disagreement among the ulama. Okay, mean the presumed continuity of an attribute until the continuity is established, such as presuming clean water purity being an attribute to remain so until the contrary is established to be the case. For example, through a change, it's in color or taste. Okay, for example, clean water will be continue to be treated as clean water until the dirty fall in it ill. Okay, air itu dianggap suci sehingga tiada bukti yang mengatakan bahawa air itu telah dijatuhi oleh sesuatu kotoran. The next is there are four important maxims related with al-istishab. Okay, the first, al-yakin la yazul bil shak. Certainty cannot be disapproved by doubt. For example, according to the majority jurists, when a husband discovered by his wife the doubt, the marriage is still continue. Okay, the next is presumption of generally until the general is subjected to limitation is another maxim that originate in istishab. The general must therefore remain in its application until it qualify in some way. Okay, the third is bara'ah al-dimmah al-ashliyah, presumption of original freedom from liability. For example, no one is liable for punishment until his guilt is proven by evidence. Okay, the last is al-ibahah, permissibility is the original state of the thing.
The example of istihab that we can relate for banking, for financial banking is, first of all, is the contract and sale. In situation when buyer A bought some of the items or goods that have been sold by seller B, it is presumed that their contract of selling and buying to remain in force until there is a change. So, the ownership of buyer and the marital status of spouses are presumed to exist until there is a change. If there are some problems causing the damages, If other firm causing the changes, the contract of sale and buying might get terminated. For example, if the products that buyer A received from seller B is damaged beyond the expiration date and no longer applicable, buyer A could file a claim that might terminate the contract of sale with conditions buyer A must show the proof for the claim. Next example is when a customer tries to make a personal loan with the bank, the customer must sign the agreement about the contract of loan within the bank. When the two parties agree about the legal contract and conditions of personal law of the personal loan, we assume that the loan agreement is valid. The legal contract and conditions can be used as evident rational proof which may be employed in the absence of another indications, specifically those facts or rules of law. In this situation, Istishab can be applied as a companionship because the agreement may get interrupted or changes. One of the changes that could occur is the customer might fail to pay the loan back. At this moment, the bank has a right to declare the customer as bankrupt. Last example is if there is a dispute between the mudarik party and the Shahid Al-Mal or the investor or capital owner in the mudarabah contract, then the mudarik party wins, which denote that the report of the results of his business activities really did not produce a profit according to the reality experienced in his business. This is in accordance with the concept of istishab and the rules of jurisprudence which reads al-aslu al-adam. From the original, tree does not exist, meaning that something is declared not to exist according to the original law, as long as there is no accurate evidence that proves the existence of something that can change from nothing to there, or from no profit to profit. So for the conclusion, all in all istishab remains the basis for most mujtahids and is used as a source of law when no other evidence is found. However, it is not a spare argument that stands on its own establish a new law. Rather, it shows the continuation of the previous law when the mujtahid feels that there is no evidence to change the law. Therefore, when it contradicts another argument, the other argument takes precedence. Thus, al-istishab is a dynamic field for mujtahids and is taken into account in some modern laws and legal principles because the expression that the accused is innocent until proven guilty is based on istishab al-bara'ah al-asliyah. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you so much.